switch to here. Pepe, what you doing? Dear Esther. It's supposed to be a walking simulator, mystery kind of thing. That's about the most we know, really. The trailer really doesn't give me much except for a little poetic story. It's kind of cute. It's very deep and emotional. So I don't know if it's a love story or if we're just having a walk along the coast. I have no idea. Anyway, let's find out. Oh, it's chapters, I guess. Oh no, that'd be a lot. Let's just start. See how we get on.
Dear Esther, I have lost track of how long I have been here and how many visits I have made overall. Certainly the landmarks are now so familiar to me that I have to remind myself to actually see the forms and shapes in front of me. I could stumble blind across these rocks, the edges of these precipices, without fear of missing my step and plummeting down to sea. Besides, I have always considered that if one is to fall, it is critical to keep one's eyes firmly open.
God, well, you got some hydrogen, I guess that's carbon, or carbon, oxygen. I don't know what they're trying to do over here. Make some meth and cocaine or something. Unless it's like sugar. No, I don't think it's sugar. Sugar is a complex one. I don't think that's it. I really don't remember. Don't need a lot of little noises. That's kind of cool. But you need to go. It's all rusty and stained. Where they made one meth. Maybe. Yeah. Could be. I cannot interact with anything. Alright. Doing all kinds of drugs. Do we go up? Or all we can just
Donnelly reported the legend of the hermit, a holy man who sought solitude in its most pure form.
Okay.
Allegedly, he rode here from the mainland in a boat without a bottom, so all the creatures of the sea could rise at night to converse with him.
He's drinking paint.
How disappointed he must have been with their chatter.
Kind of weird.
Perhaps now, when all that haunts the ocean is the rubbish dumped from the tankers, he'd find more peace. They say he threw his arms wide in a valley on the south side, and the cliff opened up to provide him shelter. They say he died of fever 116 years later. The shepherds left gifts for him at the mouth of the cave, but Donnelly records they never claimed to have seen him. I have visited the cave and I have left my gifts, but like them, I appear to be an unworthy subject of his solitude.
The hermit cave. From my understanding of the story. That sounds cool. I'd like to see that. Yes, it is. I don't know if it is a story or just a bunch of doohickery. A whole bunch of hoo-ha. I don't think we can get up there. That one looks a bit too hard. Yeah. Nope. Maybe. Oh! Oh my god. Oh, come on. A little more. No, we can't. And just too much resistance. I know, it looks like you could, but there's that little rock thing there that just stops me. So dangerous. We just quick travel, just go straight down. I'm a statistic. Because you're a sadistic. Sadomasochism. Don't find it. Oh my god. Long walk. I need more coffee. We could have a cave. Yay, shortcut. I feel like I could have done that there, but I'm kind of like broken my knees or something. Hey, I don't want to risk it. You know, I don't know if I even have legs. I don't want to risk it. No problem. Yeah, my game over now starts way at the beginning. Yeah, that sounds fun. No, just bushes and stuff. Like a bunch of seaweed. And Coca-Cola. Yeah. People littering, that's awful. Takeaway meal. Jeez, that's fun. More takeaway meals and cigarettes, yeah, some bags. Noise. Do some noise. Lunch cake. Yay. With nothing in them. Except eggs, I guess. Rope. Bags. A lot of bags. Yeah, that's fun. Well, just walking. I want to reach that hermit cave and see if we're worthy. And if not, we're taking his gifts. Simple as that. We will prosper, man.
When you were born, your mother told me, a hush fell over the delivery room. A great red birthmark covered the left side of your face. No one knew what to say, so you cried to fill the vacuum. I always admired you for that you cried to fill whatever vacuum you found. I began to manufacture vacuums just to enable you to deploy your talent. The birthmark faded by the time you were 6 and had gone completely by the time we met, but your fascination with the empty and its cure remained.
The empty and its cure. You had a birthmark until you were about 6 years old. Oh, I see. Gotcha. Right, do we go stairs or do we go beach? Beach. That sounds like we got some old workers going on. my thing, I don't even remember what it's called. But it's supposed to be like a very pleasant shape thing. God, I'm gonna some weird circle.
I have found the ship's manifest, crumpled and waterlogged under a stash of paint cans. It tells me that along with this present cargo, there was a large quantity of antacid yogurt bound for the European market. It must have washed out to sea. God knows there are no longer gulls or goats here to eat it.
Rasco, this is Dear Esther. All we know is it's very mysterious and confusing and a whole lot of snow. We got the makings of the car here. You can barely hear us. Okay. We can fix that. If we, oh, you know, the game could be pretty loud. Bump that down. Bump that up. No, I can't boost. Yeah, I could do the boost. Hang on. It says good. Okay. Cool. Alright, so this is some weird dark hole here. Yeah, ignore the Streamlabs chatbot. I haven't fixed him. He keeps thinking there's a pole on, but I've stopped that a while back. Can we go this way? No. Can we go this way? No. Right, we're gonna have to go back to the staircase. We also know that I had a birthmark until I was 6 years old on the left-hand side of my face. Oh, I suppose that's true. We don't know any perspective. Yeah, am I the... Yeah. That's true. That's a good question. We don't know who we're playing as, if we're the narrator or not. I don't know. I don't know. We'll have to figure it out together, Rasco. What's he saying, Fran? Yeah, we of the lighthouse, which is actually just over there. I'll show you in just a sec. I would go faster, but I can't. So we started, yeah, just down over there where that lighthouse is. We went in there. It looked like a bit of a meth house. Then we just kind of walked down this way, and occasionally we get dialogue. I cannot sprint. I can only zoomy eyes. That's it. And lots of wind. It's very peaceful and nice and pretty. Like a
Donnelly's book had not been taken out from the library since 1974. I decided it would never be missed as I slipped it under my coat and avoided the librarian's gaze on the way out. If the subject matter is obscure, the writer's literary style is even more so. It is not the text of a stable or trustworthy reporter. Perhaps it is fitting that my only companion in these last days should be a stolen book written by a dying man.
Yes.
When someone had died or was dying, or was so ill they gave up what little hope they could sacrifice, they cut parallel lines into the cliff, exposing the white chalk beneath. You could see them from the mainland or the fishing boats, and know to send aid or impose a cordon of protection, and wait a generation until whatever pestilence stalked the cliff paths died along with its hosts. My lines are just for this, to keep any would-be rescuers at bay. The infection is not simply of the flesh.
Yeah, he's very thespian, isn't he? With his words and his dialogue. Very. You're gonna go mad. Oh no, another split path. Okay, Rasco, you choose left or right, buddy. It is quite pretty. He says left, we go left. Yeah, no, it's peaceful. There doesn't seem to be any danger. I can't equip anything or yeah, it's a trippy, weird Stonehenge. Maybe. I'm sure Mr. Man has a lot to say about it.
We are not like Lot's wife, you and I. We feel no particular need to turn back. There's nothing to be seen if we did. No tired old man parting the cliffs with his arms. No gifts or Bibles laid out on the sand for the taking.
Just spiky fences.
No tides turning or the shrieking gulls overhead.
Fences.
The bones of the hermit are no longer laid out for the taking. I have stolen them away to the guts of this island, where the passages all run to black, and where we can light each other's faces by their strange luminescence.
Alright, talking about bones and stuff. Me too. From my understanding, though, because he mentioned the hermit cave thing before, which I think is that cave, and there were like offerings brought to it, because there was a dude living in it, and he mentioned, well, I don't, no, I'm pretty sure walking through that little weird cave, you could see that cave, yeah, so this is what I'm interested in, because it's supposed to have a guy who was like 116 years old living in it.
Dear Esther, I met Paul. I made my own little pilgrimage.
Open the food.
My Damascus, a small semi-detached on the outskirts of Wolverhampton. We drank coffee in his kitchen and tried to connect to one another.
Ooh.
Although he knew I hadn't come in search of an apology, reason or retribution, he still spiraled in panic, thrown high and lucid by his own dented bonnet. Responsibility had made him old. Like us, he'd already passed beyond any conceivable boundary of life.
Yeah, we'll just look at the creepy cave and the boat and stuff. We're gonna steal the gifts. Supposedly. Yeah, and this game and this island are just... Maybe Esther's a man. Right, we're gonna see if the goodies are still here, and we are going to steal some stuff.
I find myself increasingly unable to find that point where the hermit ends and Paul and I begin. We are woven into a sodden blanket, stuffed into the bottom of a boat to stop the leak and hold back the ocean.
He took all the paint.
My neck aches from staring up at the aerial. It mirrors the dull throb in my gut where I am sure I've begun to form another stone. In my dreams, it forms into a perfect representation of Lot's wife, head over her shoulder, staring along the motorway at the approaching traffic in a vacuum of fatalistic calm.
More chemistry. Yeah, this is the exact same thing we saw in the lighthouse. Yeah. DH. Oh, true. Yeah. Oh no, you're right. Yeah, the hydrogen moves. And then, yeah, upside down. That's a good way to describe it. With a weird triangle. I guess it could be its beak. I don't know. Yeah, that we found in the first building place that we started at. Oh, and then there's some more. Another one. So to be able to even reach up that high on these walls is pretty impressive. You know what I mean? Like, look at that. Look, if I came over here, how? How would you do that? You gotta be massive. If he has a ladder, I swear. Oh, I guess he did live on a boat. Right, so we can't go very far in the cave. I'm really disappointed. I was trying to... It's an empty paint can. I'm trying to steal some goodies, but there's nothing here. Oh, wait. Somebody has been here. No. Bones. Fish. I don't know, but I wanted to steal stuff, but I can't. That's fine. We'll just keep going. My magical flashlight that turns on and off by itself. Oh, thanks, Mr. Fly. Get out of here, buddy. Nobody invited you to the stream. There's a bird. Oh my god, a bird. Alright, we're gonna go this way now. Get out of here, Mr. Fly. You open the tapas meats. Yeah. Sorry, next time he talks, it gives a chance to eat. We might mute our mics when that happens, though, just so we're not. Yeah. Let me weave you a long tale. We're ruining this beautiful music. Right next to a little creek, it's so cute. It's very calming.
He still maintains he wasn't drunk, but tired. I can't make the judgment or the distinction anymore. I was drunk when I landed here, and tired too. I walked up the cliff path in near darkness and camped in the bay where the trawler lies beached. It was only at dawn that I saw the bothy and decided to make my temporary lodgings there. I was expecting just the aerial and a transmitter stashed in a weatherproof box somewhere on the mount. It had an air of uneasy permanence to it. Like all the other buildings here, erosion seems to have evaded it completely.
It's kind of a weather transmitter he was talking about. Is that right? I heard transmitter. Yeah. Well, there's that broadcast tower looking thing. With our... Yeah, where they do all the creepy rituals at night. Right? Yeah. Sacrifice all the goats. Right? That's gotta still be a thing. Yeah. I'm surprised he had nothing to say about that. Should have used the other hand, but actually I kind of need my hands to do this. So Fran, you're just gonna have to feed me. I know it's a tough job. Hey, at least you're not having to feed me beer, right? Or whiskey. Oh, jeez. Don't want to do Plague Tale with whiskey, and that was such a mistake. 6 shots, Rasco. I did 6 shots because of how ridiculously difficult it was playing as Hugo. Jesus, it was awful.
Dear Esther, I have now driven the stretch of the M5 between Exeter and Bristol over 21 times. But although I have all the reports and all the witnesses, and have cross-referenced them within a millimetre using my Ordnance Survey maps, I simply cannot find the location. You'd think there would be marks to serve as some evidence. It's somewhere between the turn-off for Sanford and the welcome break services, but although I can always see it in my rear-view mirror, I have as yet been unable to pull ashore.
But maybe that was a real statement. Maybe that's why they're writing their letters. Right, we're gonna have to start making some notes because I'm trying to figure out the story. So we've got pen somewhere. We can grab a pen. Sorry, Raska, we're going to do a bit of brain work here, try to figure this out. So we can at least decipher some crap. So who are we going to be called? We're Mr. Newman. Oh, okay, no, we'll roll with it. So we are Mr. Newman. That's our placeholder name. That's some creepy music going on right now. So our friend is Paul. I guess he's related to Esther in some way. Okay. He really does. So we've come to an island in search of something. There's also the hermit. Okay, so we'll write down hermit story. Cave, 116 years. Because I think that's so relevant. 116 years before somebody dies. That's crazy.
I mean, it's just a story.
Well, yeah. Oh, yeah, spoke to sea creatures. He was Poseidon, basically. Or Aquaman. He was Aquaman. So he was Aquaman. That's cool. My guess is we're trying to find Esther, because some of it sounds like they are, you know? It almost sounds like some of the context he's using. I really don't know yet. Okay, chat. Are we gonna go left, or are we gonna go right? Somebody decide for me. While we try to piece this together. With your help. Haha! Oh, jeez. Nice. Let's go to the left. I am muted, I forget which. Sorry, I'm just checking. Yep, okay, cool. Left we go. Right, we've got some weird shipping containers. Looks like a freight ship. That's beached. Is there a little bit of... Oh, there's a little... Oh, okay. Yeah. I was gonna say boy, but yeah. I think you're right, beacon. Beacony boy. A beacony boy. Super weird shit, man. They're also carrying more containers. Boxception. Oh my god. I want to run so bad, but we just can't move any faster. No, but get around this island so much quicker.
I've begun to wonder if Donnelly's voyage here was as prosaic as it was presented.
Donnelly. What?
How disappointed not to have found the bones of the holy man. No wonder he hated the inhabitants so. To him, they must have seemed like barnacles mindlessly clinging to a mercy seat.
This just goes nowhere.
Why cling so hard to the rock? Because it is the only thing that stops us from sliding into the ocean. Into oblivion.
Ooh. Words. Did neither... Oh wait, and neither did he eat nor drink. Weird. Yeah. I'm thinking that, oh wait, no, it goes down this way. So I'm thinking, yeah, in that context, the holy man is the hermit. That's why they were talking about finding his bones. But they said that Donnelly couldn't find them, which is, like, disappointing. Yeah. I could fed food. It's a pretty sweet treat. Another dude we don't know. Some man-woman? What happened on the M5? we've driven that. Yeah, so big boxes contain smaller boxes, which contain smaller boxes. What do these boxes contain? Tin cans! I don't know. Lube. Oh god, right, what is that? Luminous premium something. I think it is paint, I think you're right. A whole lot of funny noises going on. You hear that? It almost sounds like a flagpole. Kind of a tink-tink, like something's bashing up against something. Oh yeah, but you're a chain. It's just I don't see anything moving is what I'm saying. Maybe. It's just a whole lot of boxes. Can I get on the boat? Is that a thing? I can't climb, I can't jump. Loot boxes pay $1 US to open. Rasco, my god. That would be that'd be some kid's heaven, wouldn't it? Go get mommy's credit card. All kinds of amazingness, but it's like oh, I guess kinda. Payload Kukat. Guess we'll go this way and see if he speaks up again. I mean, was that supposed to be the rescue boat? I'm just wondering if this was supposed to come rescue this one. And totally failed. Oh.
There must be a hole in the bottom of the
What's
boat.
going on with this?
How else could new hermits have arrived?
Why is it weird rock? It's got like a weird, super interesting rock on it. It's circled and then it connects up to this. Yeah. He was also talking about new hermits. Cool looking boat, man. Cool looking boat. Ah. 5-minute walk to the next spot. So we were all the way up there, going all the way down that way. I don't think there'll be anything that way, so I think we're going this way. That's just what we're gonna do. Make it 30 minutes. 30 minutes of slow walking and
I
holding
had
down
kidney
the W
stones,
key.
and you visited me in the hospital. After the operation, when I was still half submerged in anesthetic, your outline and your speech both blurred. Now my stones have grown into an island and made their escape,
Oh.
and you have been rendered opaque by the car of a drunk.
I don't know, that must have been... I see, okay. Right, we have another pathway choice. Do we go left up or right down-ish somewhere? Rasco. He says up. We go up. There's kidney stones. Ooh. I do not want. Oh, if these were all kidney stones, that dude must have been huge. He would have died even remotely trying to pass anything that size. I don't think that's how they work. Oh, look, it's my house. Oh, look, it's much nicer than that one, actually. I shouldn't have called dibs so early. I'm wondering, right? Oh, this is a bit of a stretch. It's a bit of a weird stretch. But we've gotten to make choices between like left and right so far. I'm wondering if that's influenced the story in any way. Maybe not. I mean, that might be a...
I've begun to climb, away from the sea and towards the center. It is a straight line to the summit, where the evening begins to coil around the aerial and squeeze the signals into early silence.
Pathways.
The bothy squats against the mount to avoid the gaze of the aerial. I too will creep under the island like an animal and approach it from the northern shore.
Magical light. Just beams out of my chest. What the Oh. I totally thought it was like the handle of a knife or something, but you're right. Totally drugs. Or it could be a turkey baster. I mean, we shouldn't judge. Oh. Well. Regardless, I don't want to know what happened here. We're just gonna move on. That is my house. It's the crack shack. The good old crack shack. Maybe. I mean, that would be quite interesting, wouldn't it? It would have to be fairly clever, but yeah, the only other thing to think about is if that were the case, there's nothing telling us like how it would influence what we're doing. You know, like, oh, well, if you go this way, this happens, but if you go that way, that happens. Kind of like in
was
Firewatch,
constructed
that was quite
originally
good.
in the early 1700s. By then, shepherding had formalized into a career. The first habitual shepherd was a man called Jakobsen, from a lineage of migratory Scandinavians. He was not considered a man of breeding by the mainlanders.
With some snips and a syringe.
He came here every summer whilst building the bothy, hoping eventually that becoming a man of property would secure him a wife and a lineage. Donnelly records that it did not work. He caught some disease from his malcontented goats and died 2 years after completing it. There was no one to carve white lines into the cliff for him either.
Right, so Donnelly died. That's cool. Yeah, that's cool. More paint cans. Something on the wall. Oh, I totally didn't even see that. Oh, upside down. Somebody is trying to lead us somewhere. That's my guess. More abandoned places.
My
It's just
heart is
magical,
landfill.
like Iron Man.
These false dawns waking into the still never light. I sweat for you in the small hours and wrap my blankets into a mass.
Ew.
I have always heard the waves break on these lost shores, always the gulls forgotten. I can lift this bottle to my ear, and all there ever is for me is this Hebridean music.
Look at how many broken windows they have. Clean your fireplace. Where did you come from? What the shit? Is there another cave? Oh yeah. I've been confused. Why is every single window broken? Oh wait, no. Oh yeah, that one's broken too. Every single one. I suppose. Board up some windows. Just come and have a little look. I will. I'm just looking. Thanks, Mom. Oh, we could have gone on the beach somehow. How? How? Unless that's ahead. Unless that's something. Oh, yeah, maybe. Maybe we're doing that ahead. Oh, man. Still don't know what we're doing here. Just exploring a weird-ass island, man. Yeah, just no remains, period. Except for obviously that weird bowl of bones that was in the hermit cave. Yeah, come to think of it, if there were more creatures or people and stuff on this island, there would have been a lot more bones. Or something, I don't know, I guess they could have been here a while and or been cremated. More chemistry. Yeah, it's almost like it's changed. I have no idea. Oh. and a pile of rocks that are formed into shape. I don't know, man. What's up? What's Trasco saying? Yeah, it is a good bedtime story, especially because we have no idea what's going on. I'm trying to make sense of stuff, but it's not really working. Oh well, just crack on, shall we? Crack on. Oh, this way. Doo-doo-doo. Come on, something more exciting. This is very calm. Oh my god, I wanted to go into that cave. But I don't see how. Maybe I have to climb into it somehow. I don't know, man. I don't know. Just, there's no fences anymore. This isn't dangerous. Oh, that's a specific pathway. We're checking that out. I'm sure he is. I'm sure he is. Something else about dear old Donnelly, or oh, we're gonna meet some new person. Oh, I broke my pinky toe last week. Some weird shit.
In a footnote, the editor comments that at this point, Donnelly was going insane as syphilis tore through his system like a drunk driver.
Wow.
He's not to be trusted. Many of his claims are unsubstantiated, and although he does paint a colourful picture, much of what he says may have been derived directly from his fever. But I've been here, and I know, as Donnelly did, that this place is always half imagined. Even the rocks and caves will shimmer and blur with the right eyes.
Cool. Let's put it. Maybe. I mean, maybe he contracted syphilis because he was poisoned by a goat.
They found Jakobsen in early spring. The thaw had only just come. Even though he'd been dead nearly 7 months, his body had been frozen right down to the nerves and had not even begun to decompose.
Frozen?
He'd struggled halfway down the cliff path, perhaps looking for some lost goat, or perhaps in a delirium, and expired, curled into a claw right under the winter moon. Even the animals shunned his corpse. The mainlanders thought to bring it home unlucky. Donnelly claims they dragged it to the caves to thaw out and rot, but he is proving an unreliable witness.
Oh. You're trying to make more notes. Good. Good. Might as well write a bunch of names and write deceased. We have the makings of a boat here. Now whether it was being made, I don't know, it looks like it was torn apart. Maybe by scavengers, maybe by a lot of storms, but there's a lot of pieces missing. I would say it was in progress, but some of those bits looked broken. So I don't think that's the case.
Climbing down to the caves, I slipped and fell and have injured my leg. I think the femur is broken.
What the fuck? Do you hear that?
It is clearly infected. The skin has turned a bright, tight pink, and the pain is crashing in on waves, winter tides against my shoreline, drowning out the ache of my stones. I struggled back to the bothy to rest, but it has become clear that there is only one way this is likely to end. The medical supplies I looted from the trawler have suddenly found their purpose. They will keep me lucid for my final ascent.
Oh yeah, what was up with all that weird noise? Super screechy noises. Okay, I'm a little intrigued again. Got some creepy cave action going on. Oh yeah. Oh god. Okay, looks like we've had a little fall.
Donnelly's addiction is my one true constant. Even though I wake in false dawns and find the landscape changing, flowing in constantly through my tears, I know his reaching is always upon me.
It's time to get up, Mr. Man. We're now in a spooky cave. There's a lit candle. That's the important question here. Because I know I sure as shit didn't do it. That's his little pissing pool. Music is so tranquil, calming. You got some weird blue fluorescent lights. What's it being cast off of though? Just something. Must be some kind of fauna. Bunch of paint. Okay, this is taking an interesting turn now. I think I could see how he contracted various diseases and stuff. Magic mushrooms. Especially glowing magic mushrooms. Talk about dangerous. I think he just I think he just stood up a bit. It looks like they all go the same way. Oh, but there's a different cave painting each side. Ooh, okay. It does seem important. Fran, you choose this one. Left, we'll go left.
They'd stopped the traffic back as far as the Sandford Junction and come up the hard shoulder like radio signals from another star. It took 21 minutes for them to arrive. I watched Paul time it to the second on his watch.
And the waiting on, the medical services, yeah. And watched his wife die, it sounds. And then I guess he went insane. Is that all this room is? Just one big circle? Gotta be something else, right? Supposed to be able to walk somewhere else? I don't know. Not even making footprints. That's weird, man. That's weird, man. And literally, I don't think I can go anywhere else. Do we just go back? How would we even leave this cave? Buggery. Gotta figure it out. Oh no. Oh, probably that way. No, we came from that way. That's right. Through the magic mushrooms. Ooh. That's looking pretty. Oh. Are you kidding me? Take that in there. That's quite nice. Alright, here we go. Oh my god! Whoa! I didn't know we could swim. Oh. Oh, this way, okay. We died. Just underneath. Not really. Yeah, right? Much more dangerous than it looks. Now climbing. Climbing. That's an excellent question, Fran. Something we should raise. But this game did come out 7 years ago, so it might be a little late. Seven years ago. Yeah, 2012 is when this came out. So it's a little late to question. Where does that go? So it's gonna go somewhere, right? No. No, it doesn't. Oh, you're gonna be fine, don't worry. You get over it. You get over it pretty quick. I mean, shit, my high school 10-year reunion's gonna come up next year. You think I'm ready for that? No way, man. You're so funny. Oh, this is so dangerous. Don't do this. I can do it because I'm playing a video game and it's clearly not that hazardous to me. But in real life, I probably just so random. Why? You went through all that trouble and then I'm just gonna light a little candle here. Who's living in this cave? If it's you, Hermit, we are stealing your goodies. Take some treasures home. Ooh, more glowing mushrooms. They're so cool. Random glowy rock. Okay, that's yep, just roll with it. This is a pretty big cave. I'm crawling on the ground like a monster now. Whoa.
I'm traversing my own death throes. The infection in my leg is an oil rig that dredges black muck up from deep inside
river.
my bones. I swallow fistfuls of diazepam and paracetamol to stay conscious. The pain flows through me like an underground sea.
Amazing. Looks like we could go that way. How are we walking? I don't know, fair enough, yep. A lot of drugs that'll do it. Yeah, I say we keep going up, that looks cool. Yeah, just fuck it. If you're already losing your legs, you might as well just get every substance you can get. Just use it, you know. It can't be that hard, right? Just walk up to your neighbor and ask for some cocaine and heroin. I'm sure they've got some, right? Don't ask for drugs. It's not a good idea. Unless medically prescribed. If you're medically prescribed, that's a bit different. You can't really argue with that. Unless the professional's a bit of an idiot. It's a bit different, you know, but if they're trying to save your life. What if I just go right off and just end this right here? It's turned into like a bit of a beautiful experience. Wow, they're like stars, but like really big stars. Really pointy rocks. Oh, I wanted to go up that way. Fine, we'll go this way. Oh, I gotta adjust again. I'm sorry. So pretty.
When I was coming round from the operation, I remember the light they shone in my eyes to check for pupil contraction. It was like staring up at a moonlit sky from the bottom of a well. People moved at the summit, but I could not tell if you were one of them.
Staring up at the sky from moonlit. Well, oh, no, you can't really see shit from down here. I was trying to be all beautiful with the story and understand, but you don't see shit from down there. Cool symbols again. Look, it's two hands. About to. Oh yeah, I guess it could be a butterfly. I see it as two hands grabbing a stick. A test tube. Okay, no, fair enough. That's relevant. And NH nitrogen, 2 parts hydrogen. A lot of chemistry in this game, but I don't know where that's coming from. Nobody's mentioned anything about chemistry. Maybe this is where Breaking Bad moved to. Walter White had to hide out in a cave. Ooh! Behold, Damascus is taken. Hey mentioned something about Damascus before we entered that first cave. Whoa. Yeah. Oh my god, this is a lot to take in. Looks like circuit boards and electricity mixed with chemistry and biology. Damascus is taken. That seems to repeat. Yeah. Somebody went fucking nuts on the shrooms. I'll tell you that. Away from being a city? What? Okay. And it shall be a fungus? Hemp? What? I have no idea. I'm guessing fungus hemp. But that doesn't make any damn sense. Whoa! Get the feeling touching these will probably kill you. Nope. They're not quite jellyfish stingers. Little jellyfish tentacles. Stinging you. This place is fucking weird, man. Fucking weird, man. And then it goes back into darkness, dudes. How high have we been going up? I mean, how big is this cave? Must be bigger than the freaking mountain by now. Jesus. Blue tentacles. Along with a little bit of water. What could go wrong? Dun, 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 dun. Oh my god. Well, that was exciting. Thanks for the underwater part. Nope. Bit of orangey light up there. Maybe we'll find the candle man. You can if you want. More paint. I want. Oh shit! Didn't actually mean to fall there. I was hoping to climb around and find Candleman, but... Oh. Yep. Underwater, M5, might I add. But you can even see the top of the water right there. When England goes under. Oh, a bunch of coins. Oh, they are actually coins. I did not actually mean that, but wow. Why coins? I know there's like the whole passage to the underworld thing, but that's like 2 coins, isn't it? On the eyes. Am I supposed to go somewhere else? I don't know. I'm just gonna keep walking. We're so confused, Rasco. Can I go up? Nope. Nope. Yay! Spurt on my face. Whoa. More trippiness. That's pretty. Kinda, yeah. I'm digging it. Well, see you later, cave. It's been fun. Thanks for not killing me. We're gonna have to look up the meaning of this game because I'm pretty lost still. You can walk a bit faster. Come on, buddy. Come on, Newman. I know, right? Very disappointing op. Ooh, more candles. Where are you, Candle Man? Oh, Fran, we've entered Red Dead Redemption. Ooh, that's nice. clothes. Ooh, do we go left or right? Oh, the candle's on the right, though. I do want to find the candle man, so we're gonna go right. You picked the worst ending. Weird little bridge out there.
I wish I could have known Donnelly in this place. We would have had so much to debate. Did he paint these stones or did I? Who left the pots in the hut by the jetty? Who formed the museum under the sea? Who fell silently to his death into the frozen waters? Who erected this godforsaken aerial in the first place? Did this whole island rise to the surface of my stomach, forcing the gulls to take flight?
Hey, look, we found the paintbrush. It's not a very big paintbrush. You've done a lot of work, my friend. This has gotta end at some point, right? I really hope so. God, could you imagine if each... Oh, jeez, I don't even want to... Oh. Rasco's waiting for us. Oh. Pictures of the crash?
Dear Esther, I find each step harder and heavier. I drag Donnelly's corpse on my back across these rocks, and all I hear are his whispers of guilt, his reminders, his burnt letters, his neatly folded clothes. He tells me I was not drunk at all.
I know, I'm gonna go this way. No, Donnelly was dead when he was talking about that. So that's why he keeps these kind of things around. It's like a reminder. Oh, I see. Gotcha. So, I was the killer. Because I was drunk. Donnelly, the other guy we're talking about, yeah, he said it's not my fault because I wasn't drunk at all. Something like that. The music's picked up. We're coming! Get this weird shit over. Alright then. Still alive, right? Yep. Just making sure, because sometimes it says I am and we're not. It's done that to me twice before and it just sucks. Why would you allow me to go into such random spaces if there's nothing? I mean, look, you made a little shrine out of tires and a muffler. Oh. Fuck, did you hear that? That was weird. Must be a way up over this way.
There were chemical diagrams on the mug he gave me coffee in, sticky at the handle where his hands shook. He worked for a pharmaceutical company with an office based on the outskirts of Wolverhampton. He'd been travelling back from a sales conference in Exeter, forming a strategic vision for the peddling of antacid yogurt to the European market. You could trace the connections with your finger, join the dots, and whole new compounds would be summoned into activity.
Shown. Heaven from... Maybe. maybe it was Donnelly who drove and crashed the car and killed his wife. Well, whose wife would he be driving? Well, no, it
From
just
here,
looks like they
I
hit
can see my
the middle
armada.
barrier.
I collected all the letters I'd ever meant to send to you, if I'd have ever made it to the mainland, but had instead collected at the bottom of my rucksack, and I spread them out along the lost beach. Then I took each and every one, and I folded them into boats. I folded you into the creases, and then, as the sun was setting, I set the fleet to sail. Shattered into 21 pieces, I consigned you to the Atlantic, and I sat here until I'd watched all of you sink.
Dude's mental. On a sudden, a light from heaven shone around him, and he fell to the ground. Is that the story of Icarus? There's also eggs. Interesting. Interesting and weird. So pretty. Yep, let's go find him. So are we trying to find Donnelly, who killed his wife and he abandoned himself on this island? Yeah, it's true. They did say Donnelly died, didn't they? I guess he died of syphilis on this island, but he came to this island because he quote-unquote killed his wife. And he was going a bit mad because of it. That's my guess. And he probably covered it up by saying, oh, there's interesting things to do on this island, like the hermit thing I wanted to do, and shit, you know, just coming up with reasons to not be where he was. That kind of makes sense to me.
When Paul keeled over dead on the road to Damascus, they resuscitated him by hitting him in the chest with stones gathered by the roadside. He was lifeless for 21 minutes, certainly long enough for the oxygen levels in his brain to have decreased and caused hallucinations and delusions of transcendence. I'm running out of painkillers, and the moon has become almost unbearably bright.
Painkillers. Hey, southwest. Western Mare. There better not be more stuff to look at, I swear to God. We're gonna go up there and it's gonna be like a cardboard cutout of a person, isn't it? I swear to God. I swear to God. I didn't know how long this game was. I didn't know nothing, man. I also didn't know how long I'd be holding down the W button. Hello? Anybody here? I did. I went left. Because we're trying to reach that man person thing. That's what? There's nothing here. No, it was just that. So some of these paths are literally insignificant. Exactly. Yeah. Maybe we'll get up there and no one will be there.
I've begun my voyage in a paper boat without a bottom. I will fly to the moon in it. I've been folded along a crease in time, a weakness in the sheet of life. Now you've settled on the opposite side of the paper to me. I can see your traces in the ink that soaks through the fiber, the pulped vegetation. When we become waterlogged and the cage disintegrates, we will intermingle. When this paper aeroplane leaves the cliff edge and carves parallel vapor trails in the dark, we will come together.
Surprise, they've gone up the mountain. Son of a bitch, they knew I was coming. They did not jump off. And as he was proceeding on his journey, I'm pretty sure we gotta follow it all the way up that way. Ah, that's fine. It's fine. You gotta start getting ready soon. That's alright. We'll probably do a plague tale after this when I've had a little break. I'll try to see. I mean, if it isn't too much longer, I'll finish this. No reason not to. And then we'll do a plague tale, and we'll see if I do the whiskey challenge again. That was not. It was a bit of fun. I'm not gonna lie. Go to Damascus. It was. And was come near to Damascus. Was weird words, man. And he. Oh God! There's words everywhere. And he was 3
If only Donnelly had experienced this,
days.
he would have realized he was his own shoreline, as am I. Just as I am becoming this island, so he became his syphilis, retreating into the burning synapses, the stones, the infection.
Why's it gone all purple? This is weird. Oh, is it because it's becoming nighttime? We have such a long way to go. He walks so slowly. So painful. It's a painful Rasco. Oh, another building. Let's see what my next house will be.
The stones in my stomach will weigh me down and ensure my descent is true and straight. I will break through the fog of these godforsaken pills and achieve
nice
clarity. All my functions are clogged, all my veins are choked. If my leg doesn't rot off before I reach the summit, it will be a miracle. There are 21 connections in the circuit diagram of the anti-lock brakes. There are 21 species of gull inhabiting these islands. It is 21 miles between the Sandford Junction and the turn-off for home. All these things cannot, will not be a coincidence.
Yeah, it's kind of how it was designed. Sorry, mate. I know we should, be a bit more sympathetic, but this is a very weird story. But we're going to the summit. We're getting there. And unauthorized personnel, keep out. I'm not authorized, but we're gonna break the rules anyway. Haha, troublemakers. Pass that as Thane. Oh my god, I'll just forget it. These weird passages, journey. It's a religious journey, and was some. I'm supposed to read and walk at the same time. It's so dangerous. Nope, not gonna bother. It's just us too much. Noon. I thought it said moon, but you're right, noon. Noon. Music has got weird. Jesus, we're so high up. What a trippy island, man.
He was not drunk, Esther. He was not drunk at all. He had not drunk with Donnelly or Spat Jakobsen back at the sea. He had not careered across the lost shores and terminal beaches of this nascent archipelago. He did not intend his bonnet to be crumpled like a spent tissue by the impact. His windscreen was not star-studded all over like a map of the heavens. His paintwork etched with circuit diagrams, strange fish to call the gulls away. The phosphorescence of the skid marks lighting the M5 all the way from Exeter to Damascus.
I don't know. is his kidney stones? We've gone over this. Damascus. Oh. Oh, they're all shadowy now. I see you. Why are you so dark? That was zoomed in. Yeah, it's a little break in the fence. If I can see you the whole time, I will. You're not getting away this time. Oh. I'm coming, Shadow Man. Candle Man, Hermit, whoever you are. Nah, where could they go?
We will leave twin vapor trails in the air. White lines etched into these rocks.
Unless they went up who?
Dear Esther, I have burnt my belongings, my books, this death certificate. Mine will be written all across this island. Who was Jakobsen? Who remembers him? Donnelly has written of him, but who was Donnelly? Who remembers him? I have painted, carved, hewn, scored into this space all that I could draw from him. There will be another to these shores to remember me. I will rise from the ocean like an island without bottom, come together like a stone, become an aerial, a beacon, that they will not forget you. We have always been drawn here. One day the gulls will return and nest in our bones and our history. I will look to my left and see Esther Donnelly flying beside me. I will look to my right and see Paul Jakobsen flying beside me. They will leave white lines carved into the air to reach the mainland, where help will be sent.
Oh no! We're flying! We are kind of flying, actually. This is gonna be weird. But I'm not controlling it, I'll tell you that. And now I'm a bird. This has gone the route of the other weird game we played, where you suddenly turn like a shark and stuff. Yeah, the Edith Finch one, that's it. That was the name of it. I do not know what to make of this, but it seems like a very sad man. Only a little bit. I am very confused. But from my understanding, somebody came here to kill himself. I don't know. I guess I really don't know what to make of that, man. Too much. Okay then. Is that it? I hope so. I don't want any more of that. Yay for the Chinese room. We did it. We got through. Dear Esther. Super confusing game. Wow. So closing thoughts. What's your? How did you feel about it?
Could have been really better cute and but
Yeah.
it just doesn't make any sense as to why he cared. Who was this Esther? We don't know. We don't know why he still cares about the fact that she died in a car crash.
Mm-hmm.
We have no idea why she was there, but either way.
That's true. There was very little context. It was all repeating mostly about
And why does
the
he
car
have to
crash.
be killed so much when everyone else seemed to have died? Why was Donnelly there? Why? And then he's the one that's been painting all this stuff.
I guess, yeah. I think you're right about that. I think he was the one who was doing all this mad stuff on the island.
And for some reason he went on this last journey and killed himself because he had an infection. So.
Yeah. I don't know. It was confusing. There's also no music in the credits or anything. That's just a bit odd, isn't it? Just creepy. Yeah.
I'm just so confused.
There was a lot of clearly there's a lot of thought that has gone into this, but the way it's been portrayed, unless you fully know what's going on at each moment, you can get very lost. Because I mean, like he started saying names at the end that I didn't even recognize, and I was like, we know this person.
Like one of the last speeches to realize that Paul was
Jakobsen or whatever, and then Esther is Donnelly, or was she also married to a? I'm assuming she was married to a Donnelly person.
Yeah, I think Donnelly was.
Yeah, but Donnelly was the last name, because Esther is also Esther Donnelly. So no, yeah, just weird. Well, so somebody crashed the car with Esther in it. I'm pretty sure it was Esther's husband. Whether we were that or not, I don't know. Yeah. I mean, maybe he drank. Yeah. Chemistry things on it. Yeah. So we must have been a separate person, if he gave us a mug. How did we fit into this story? Are we just friends or something? I don't know. I'll probably Google it and maybe we'll talk about it later. But I don't know. I don't know how to make of it yet. It was atmospheric and it was very, very walking simulator. I could see why that has been labeled on it. Yeah. Yeah. Compared to Taxi Detectives, which is all I have to read it out loud, and oh my god, I don't even want to play that game again. Jesus, it was hard. We failed so hard. But we did well. We did really well. I think we did know kind of who did it, but it doesn't matter. Yeah. Right, so we'll wrap up here for now. Probably going to go on a break, and I'll see about doing more Plague Tale. So yeah, Rasco, if you're still around, man, you can hang out for that. I'll probably go do it, I don't know, 30 minutes or so, but we'll see. We'll see how long it takes. Fran might have to leave us before we know it. So that's okay, she won't partake in the drinking. Anyway, we will see you for the next one, buddy. Thanks for hanging out. Bye-bye.